Hello everyone, I'm the EFC and this is Blue Line CV and welcome to another match review of Chelsea's 1-1 draw with Arsenal, of course losing 6-5 on penalties against them. And yeah, I'm going to be giving my thoughts and opinions on the game. I'm going to be talking about our style, our pressing, the progress we're making under Sarri as well, Hudson-Odoi plus some other individual performances as well. So definitely stay tuned. But getting straight in with the match review, and there were some changes in the first team for today. We did see Rudiger partnering David Luiz, and it was quite obvious that something like this was going to be happening. You know, we are going to be playing Man City on Sunday, and it looks like this is going to be Sarri's first choice option when it comes to defenders, Luiz and Rudiger. And, you know, I'll talk about their performances later on, but it makes sense. Yes, we saw Azpilicueta playing on the right-hand side, Alonso on the left-hand side, as well Jorginho being that his reduced herself in the middle as well. And it was another game that Callum Hudson-Odoi did start in, and he did shine in as well. Now, I'm going to be talking about Callum Hudson-Odoi in even more detail for tomorrow's video, so definitely stay tuned for that. But it was just another encouraging performance, you guys. One thing in particular I constantly keep reiterating is the fact that our pressing is looking very, very, very good. And I was a bit surprised as to how quickly we adopted a new style of defending off the ball. And it's working quite a lot. You know, the amount of trouble we put Arsenal in, constant trouble. You know, they were really struggling to play out from the back. A lot of times they were forced to play long kicks as well. They were keeping a lot of unnecessary possession at the back because, yes, you know, Arsenal are good at keeping the ball and playing out. But they really couldn't transition that into anything meaningful throughout this game. And, you know, especially in those opening minutes in the first half, we were putting a lot of pressure on Arsenal. We were having more of the ball. And it was no surprise to see that we did get a goal from a set piece. Now, you guys, when it comes to set pieces, expect there to be even more goals scored from set pieces under Sarri. That is one thing that Sarri works on very hard during training sessions. He was nicknamed Mr. 33 unfairly, as I did say in my videos on Sarri before, because he does work and practice on many set-piece routines. That's from throw-ins, corners, long free kicks, direct free kicks, etc, etc. And that corner technique that we did see today was very interesting, and that was a technique that I kept seeing throughout the World Cup. Now, if you guys don't know what I mean, I'm talking about that outswinging cross to the centre circle, and that was where Rudiger was able to, you know, be unmarked and obviously attack the ball, great header into the bottom corner. It was 1-0. And that was definitely a technique that I kept seeing throughout the World Cup, which was causing a lot of teams a lot of trouble. So it's nice to see that we are adopting something similar. How often were we seeing under Conte near the end? How often under Conte were we seeing these stupid, near post corners, these short corners being played all the time? It's nice to see the emphasis on delivery and quality again. And it's going to be nice to see us really showing us how powerful we are from set piece situations. Now, after that, you guys, you know, it did become the Morata show, and not in a positive way. Now, for tomorrow's video, I will be talking about him in more detail for my 5 talking points from this game. But with Morata, there was a lot of frustration with his performance. Now, yes, we did win a penalty. Fantastic play by Callum Hudson-Odoi. And honestly, Bellerin didn't know how to handle him throughout this entire game. Bellerin never knew whether to go very tight with him or to stay far from him. Hudson-Odoi had the run on Bellerin every single time. Great place to win that penalty. He did that Mahrez skill where it looks like you're shifting your body one way, but really you're just strapping the ball and staying in a stationary position. And that was how Hudson-Odoi was able to win the penalty. And of course, I'm looking at Morata. I'm praying Morata's going to bury this because, you know, for all the stick that fans give him, we still need the guy. We need him ready and prepared for the game against Man City because, you guys, I'm sorry. If I'm spending money and my time going to Wembley, I want to see us win something. I don't care if it's a Community Shield. So it's going to come down to players like Morata because, you know, there's going to be many decisive moments he's going to have, and we need to have a clinical Morata. Now, the contrasting thing was he did take his penalty confidently, but it was a very confident miss. Now, I personally feel that Petr Cech was off his line, way off his line. It should have been retaken. But still, it was a shit penalty. It was shit takers. And it was disappointing. But then, you know, Morata had another quick chance after it from a header, which he messed up again. And then there were other chances on goal too where he just wasn't clinical enough. Now, the only positive thing I can say is the fact that, Morata showed with his movement that he is definitely going to get more chances created for him playing under Sarri. But then it does become a question of his clinical ability, his finishing abilities. And it seems to be something that he struggles with. And I'm not too sure personally if it's something he can get over and really show that, he does have potential to be a world-class player. I'm not too sure about that. But, it was pretty disappointing for Morata. But getting back to our pressing, and honestly, Arsenal really struggled a lot. Now, with the way Arsenal were trying to play, they were really focusing all their plays out wide in the flanks. And, it did make some sense. And that was because our shape was very compact, very tight. We were forcing Arsenal out wide a lot. Now, that doesn't mean we were super 1000% perfect. Arsenal were getting most of their joy down that left-hand side. And it does pose questions on Marcos Alonso, in my opinion. Does he have the pace? Does he have that tenacity to really perform as a left-back to a high level? I'm not too sure because he wasn't able to get close or close down any single cross throughout this entire game. And I've still got my reservations on Marcos Alonso. But as I was saying, that was the small weakness that we did show. Other than that, the pressing was very, very good. In particular, Barkley and Hudson-Odoi fulfilled their duties very well. I was really impressed with Hudson-Odoi in terms of his application off the ball as well. He was as enthusiastic going forward with the ball as he was off the ball as well. And you guys, in my opinion, I think that he has won over Sarri. Now, moving on to the second half, and yes, the game is at 1-0 again. And, one thing I'm noticing is that players are definitely tired. And as I keep stressing all the time, it still is pre-season. It's an amazing opportunity for these guys to get their match fitness. We weren't able to sustain our press as much, during the second half in particular. During the second half in particular, we really kept retreating back into our own half as the game was going on. And as I'm saying, it was down to a fatigue problem. They're not fully fit just yet. So it's nothing to worry about in my opinion. But because of this, Arsenal were able to find some joy throughout those half space areas where Ozil and co were able to operate within that half space. And that's the area that Arsenal are trying to create because, they need to create that space in the half space between the lines of our midfield and defence because that's how they can use their fullbacks to make those overlapping runs and those late man runs as well. And that's how guys like Aubameyang can find that space to run into. I thought we did a pretty good job at really nullifying a lot of the good stuff that Arsenal do. And it definitely wasn't anywhere near a Conte performance. And I think you guys understand the context I'm coming from when I'm making that comparison with, our performances under Conte. For example, no way in hell I'll be pressing as aggressively with that many men forward constantly. It was 6 guys in Arsenal's half and then the back four would press very high and then we would basically just press wherever the ball was going, If the ball's on the left-hand side, the whole team will press to the left-hand side. If the ball's on the right-hand side, you get what I mean. Still, we were creating a lot of nice, smooth, fast counter-attacking opportunities and I really feel that the team were really listening to what Sarri was talking about. And you can tell that was his emphasis in the training sessions as well. Sarri was talking about the fact that he doesn't want this team to have unnecessary possession of the ball. He wants the play to be a bit faster when it comes to transitioning in the final third. And in particular in today, I think we saw quite a lot of this play. Now, it is a bit frustrating in that sense that, yes, we're not really capitalising over the chances we're creating because we created enough in this game where we should have won it quite comfortably, especially in the first half. But again, that's a combination of players not being fully match fit, a combination of players needing to get used to the system. And finally, we don't have the big boys back like Eden Hazard and Kante as well. And that does make a difference. Now, some interesting substitutions were made. The people that were watching my watch along live stream, you would have heard me constantly going on about Rubin Loftus-Cheek because I felt Ross Barkley didn't have a good game whatsoever. And I stress this point all the time. For me, it's end products over application. I don't care if you put the effort in, if you run hard. If there's no end product, it means nothing to me. You guys were Chelsea fans. We've got a lot of high caliber players at this club. We need to have better expectations. And, one thing I kept saying in this stream was I'm looking forward to seeing Rubin playing. I was praying that he wasn't going to be used on the right-hand side. And of course, Uncle Sarri, he isn't Conte. He isn't Mourinho. Don't expect any of that type of nonsense from him. He did make a substitution where Ross Barkley was replaced for Rubin. Bakayoko did move to the right-hand side, and Drinkwater did sub off Jorginho. And yeah, I think, again, another observation was some of the early substitutions we did make, it basically does tell you who the players are going to be for the game against Man City. So that's Rudiger, Luiz, Hudson-Odoi and Jorginho. They're the 4 players so far that are guaranteed to start against them. And of course, Azpilicueta, so that's 5 in total. But I think the only thing was, I wish I could have seen more football with these guys. You know, Rubin didn't have much time to play in. Emerson didn't get as much time either. It would have been nice to see Rubin, Hudson-Odoi and Emerson down that left-hand side playing together. I think it would have been very fun to see. I'm hoping we still see something like that. I mean, it's pre-season for a reason, because I honestly feel that that could be a very exciting left-hand side. But I'm looking at Ross Barkley. I'm still not quite too sure if he's ready just yet. And yeah, that's my thoughts and opinions on him. But you guys, unfortunately, we weren't able to win this game in full time. We should have. Very sloppy play from Piazon, and Emerson didn't really communicate very well. A nice reverse pass by Ozil, and then you know, Lacazette scores literally right on the last second of the game. It does go to penalties, and there are many nice penalties played, you know, in particular, you know, Moses, Emerson as well. Ozil had a very nice penalty as well. And, you know, unfortunately, Rubin, a very bad run-up, a very bad penalty technique. Thank God he wasn't taking penalties when England needed him. So, thank God for that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter too much whatsoever because, again, the positives were there in terms of the performances, the way we're pressing, the way we're creating these opportunities. The performances from Callum Hudson-Odoi on top of that as well. There are a lot of positives. I would have said there's more positives in our performance compared to what Arsenal showed. So it's exciting. But you guys, that's going to end today's match review. Please like, comment and subscribe. I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lines TV. Signing out.